Hey, church, it's Pastor Alex, and wanted to take just a minute to give you a COVID update. Actually, more than just a minute, maybe a few minutes. It's been a long time since I've given more of a comprehensive COVID update, but thought that would be necessary, especially in light of the fact that we just pushed pause for the last 3 weeks on our in-person worship services. And so this video is going to be about 8, 9, 10 minutes long, and so I just thank you in advance for hanging in there and watching this thing from beginning to end. It's hard to believe that we've been dealing with the coronavirus pandemic in the world and here in Douglas County, and more specifically right here in our church for the last 7 or 8 months. This thing started back in March, and here we are wrapping up 2020 and bringing it to a close. And I just wanted to speak to you just for a few moments about some of the things that we're trying to keep in mind as we go through this pandemic and as we deal with it as a community of faith and as a church here at River City. The first thing is this, is that we want to remain calm but cautious. We want to be calm. We don't want to panic. We don't want to freak out. And yet at the same time, we want to be cautious. We want to move forward with caution and do the right thing, listen to our local authorities, and be a good neighbor. So that's the first thing that we want to keep in mind. The second thing is this that you need to know is that the church never closes. And so even though we might push pause on our services for a few weeks or maybe even a month or a couple of months at a time, as long as God's people are doing the work of God in the community, then there's always going to be a church, because the church is the people, and we're not defined by our facility. We're not defined by our building. And so you need to know that even though we might push pause, that the church really never closes. The third thing is this, is our mission remains the same. And so no matter what is happening throughout the pandemic or the different requirements that the county might throw at us through emergency health orders, when we never close, and our mission to help people find and follow Jesus remains the same. That's what we're all about. And so whether you're watching online or whether you're gathering in person, our mission is the same. It's to help people find and follow Jesus. The fourth thing is this, is that we will endure this and we will evolve. And so the longer that this drags on, nobody knows when the end is happening or when we'll return to any semblance of normal or what a new normal will look like. But we're going to endure this together. We're going to keep going and keep helping people find and follow Jesus. And we're going to evolve as we move forward. We're going to find new ways to do ministry, new ways to do things. And so we just ask for your patience as we continue to do that and evolve as a church. And then lastly, here's what I've discovered, is that people are all over the map. You as a congregation, all of us, myself included, we are all over the map in how we feel about this pandemic and how we're dealing with this pandemic. And I was just reading the other day a proverb that I think many of you are probably familiar with. It's Proverb 27:23 that says, "Know well the condition of your flocks and give attention to your herds." And even though I'm a sheep, I'm also a shepherd. I'm also the pastor and leader of this church. And so I always have to keep that in mind. I want to know the condition of our flock, and I want to know how you're feeling. And so I receive emails, and I get phone calls. And here's what I've determined, is that we're all kind of like a traffic light. Each individual is like a traffic light. There's some of us that are on red. And if you're red, that means that you don't get out very much. Maybe you're older, you're over the age of 65 or 70. Maybe you have some underlying health conditions that prevent you from getting out, and you don't go out to eat. You're not coming to church right now. In fact, some of you probably even think, why are we even meeting as a church? So I know that there are some of you that are like that. You're on red. Others of us are on yellow. That's caution. We know the pandemic is real. It's not a conspiracy theory, and yet we're being very cautious when we go out. We're wearing masks. We're washing our hands. We're being careful where we're going, and we're trying to carry on with everyday life just as normal as we can, but being cautious at the same time. And then last but not least, there are some people who would define themselves as green lighters, and you are the person that just says, let's go. I'm tired of being cooped up at home. This is impacting my business. I'm ready to get back to normal. Maybe you don't wear a mask very much, or if you do, you just in your spirit, you're ready for this thing to be over, and you're ready for everybody to come back to worship, and you maybe don't even understand why people aren't coming back to worship. That's where we're at in this whole thing. We're either red, we're either yellow, or we're green. That is the condition of our flocks, and each one of us, and sometimes maybe even at varying times, vacillate a little bit and move from red to yellow, or yellow to green, or from green back to yellow, and just so you know, I know that that's where we're all at. And in light of that, we're going to continue to provide two opportunities for us to gather as a church family. We've been doing this now for a long time, really since Mother's Day, and that's we have the opportunity to watch online on Sundays and streaming our services. And listen, let me just take a time out and tell you that we know that we've had some issues with sound online, or this past Sunday where it was buffering. But again, I just want to thank Kevin Coronado for all of his hard work, and our media team and technology team that does their best each and every week to try to bring you the best experience that we can online. And so we're still learning there, and we've got a long way to go. But we have come a long way since February, when we didn't own any of this equipment. And so we want to continue to provide that experience for those that would define themselves as red or yellow, and you want to continue to watch from home. We're going to continue to provide that online streaming experience on Sunday mornings. And then also, beginning this Sunday, December the 13th, we're going to go back to in-person worship. We've been watching the county health order, and we've been watching the cases dip, and they continue to go down. And so we're going to continue to meet in person. And just for those of you that are showing up on Sundays, whether you're in here in the worship center or you're upstairs on the second floor, if there's one thing that I could express to you and tell you, it would just be to operate by the guidelines of wear, watch, and wash. And that would be, if you're coming on Sundays for our in-person gathering, to wear your mask. If nothing else, at least as you're coming and going from the worship center out to your car, or as you're dealing with people, or you're close to people in the lobby, just to wear your mask. If you want to wear your mask the whole entire time, you are more than welcome to do so. So wear your mask, wash your hands, continue to practice good hygiene, and then watch your distance when you're here on Sunday mornings, and give everybody that 6 feet of distance. And we'll continue to provide as safe and a healthy environment as we can for our in-person worship services. Just know this, that we really are week to week on this thing. We are watching the health reports. We're listening to the governing authorities, and so we really just process this thing week by week. There may be a time again where we feel like it's necessary to pause our worship services, but just remember, the church never closes. Our mission remains the same, and we keep moving forward. But we really are taking this week by week. And then some of you have asked, well, what does that mean for Christmas Eve? If we're going back to in-person worship on Sundays, beginning this Sunday, what does that mean for Christmas Eve? Well, at Christmas Eve, we've still got two opportunities for you. We'll stream the service online, and we'll also have two in-person worship services, one at 4 o'clock and one at 5:30. The one at 4, we'll also have kids ministry happening during that time. They'll do their annual birthday party for Jesus. And at 5:30, we will not have kids ministry. And so if you're a younger family, or if you've got grandkids that are visiting and you want them to participate in the birthday party for Jesus, then you want to register for 4 o'clock. You can register, and we need you to register. It's kind of a ticketed event. Even though you won't get a physical ticket, we are asking that you register in advance. We are under a county health order to limit our mass gathering to no more than 100. And so it's important that you register, not only you, but if you have friends or family that are going to be attending with you, that you register them as well. And so you can do that on our website. I think we've got a special page set up for Christmas or Christmas Eve, and you can go to that page, and I think there's a link on that page, and you can click to register for the 4 o'clock or the 5:30, and then know that we'll also be streaming that 4 o'clock service online. And then the service will also archive itself, and so even if you want to wait later in the evening at Christmas Eve and you want to wait until 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or on Christmas Day, you want to watch the Christmas service, then you can do that as well on YouTube or on our website. And so anyway, man, it's been a crazy year. We're wrapping it up. We're bringing it to a close. Please know that we're praying for you, that we're doing everything that we can in light of all of the COVID regulations to keep moving the mission forward. And so thanks so much for tuning in to this message. And you can reply to this email. You're going to get this link in an email. And so if you've got any questions or concerns that you want to share with me, don't hesitate to reply to the email. Thanks, and have a great holiday season. We hope to either see you here in person over the next couple of weeks at Christmas Eve or online.